Hi everyone, I'll show you how to build a very simple and quick agency profits dashboard inside Notion so that you can have a better overview of your agency finances. So first, I'm going to show you how to build the necessary databases for this. Then we'll go over how to create the visualizations, and then finally what you can build on top of it. So let's start. I'm going to build kind of like a replica of this a bit here, down here. Yeah, let's do it here. So I'm not going to format it like this. I built an example business page inside Notion. I have a video on my YouTube channel going over how to create one a bit with more things than this one, but this is just to go over these parts for the dashboards. So for that, we need 4 databases. So one for the projects that you have, another one for your clients, current and past ones, and then the expenses per project or expenses that you have in general, and then billable hours for all the team members. So this is what's going to let us build any dashboard that we want, like profit and loss, clients, etc. But the main one that we will focus here is the profit and loss and a bit more things inside those. So let's start with in Notion. If you click here on the plus, or you just do the /, we can look for database. Okay, let's do it again. Database, and we want the full page because we want this to be a single page. So now we are going to create a new one because those are the ones I already had for the example. And let's call this, is going to be the project. And I'm going to put here a 2 so that we know it's this one that we want. Now we have, well, we can put the name of the project. Let's actually open this on the other side so that we can follow along. So we want the project name, the client, the budget, when it started, when it ended, total billable for the project, the total expenses, and then the profit. And for the profit, it's basically grabbing the budget for the project minus total billable hours and total expenses. And then we can have the status for that single project. So let's say this is the name. Then we want to attach clients. Let's not do that right now because we need to have the client table. So what we're going to do is budget, dates, and the rest. So let's say project budgets. Well, we want this to be a number first and foremost. So we're going to click for number. Inside the format, we want this to be, let's say, US dollar. And the name is going to be project budgets. Can be, yeah, it's good. Good enough. Then we want the dates. So let's look for the date. Start date, it's immediately done. We don't want hours. And let's say we want this as day, month, year. You can edit all of these here. And same thing for end date. We're just going to put no time, day, month, year. And I'll say this is good. For all the calculation, we're going to do it after we have the other tables, including the client. So let's go back and create here the clients one. So here I am typing again the names. It's another database, and we want full page. And now it's going to be one called clients. So clients 2. And we have the client. So this can be the company name. And then you may want to have one for the client's name, like, or the person that you're contacting, or your main point of contact inside that company. So we can just put POC, for example. Then what we want is maybe their email, right? So email address. And we want what project they are tied to. So we're going to add here a relation type, and we're going to look for projects. And so we want projects 2. Here it is. And then we say that we want this to be a two-way relation. And we're going to say this is the client's 2. It's okay. So let's add here. And we're going to have now the projects 2 table related here. And, well, I don't want to add a cover. Let me remove it. And here, if we go back and we go back to projects, we have here the clients table. You can rename this to be like clients, and it will be nice. So now, after this, we need to have the expenses, right? Let's just confirm that here we have, yeah, I forgot the status. We can add that. Let's add that very quickly. So status also, we want this to be either a status field, but status field usually has to do in progress complete, and you would have to change some stuff. So I prefer to have just a normal select, call it status, and then we either have inactive, and and let's put active in green. Why not? All right. So let's add here company one already as an example. This would be name. This would be name at company1.com. Projects, we're going to have one in the future. Let's add it as active. We also are going to add the LTV, so the lifetime value for these clients, but we need first to have that in the project. So let me finish the databases. So we need expenses and billable hours. These ones are two basic ones. So expenses table, as you would, and say hello to my assistant today. He's helping me with the video. So if you hear any noises or sounds, it's from him, or if he suddenly appears. Here, expenses. Well, back to this. We want to know what specific expense this is. We can leave it as name, doesn't matter. Then I have some good columns here. So I have the category and the date, of course. So let's add here the amount first. We want it in dollar again. Then we want the date of expense. Again, let's take all of this and leave it as this. And why not have categories? And we add here, I don't know, software. Oops, let's call this software. All right, we have one for hardware, one for miscellaneous. Can be. It works for now, at least for the example. Now let's add here expense. So this would be, well, I'm not going to think about examples for expenses. So expense 1 and 2. This would have been $500. This would be, let's say, 1 to 50 or 12,000. Why not? Let's put 1,000 to 50. This could have been some days ago, and this can be today. And the category, this is software, and this is miscellaneous. All right, or let's put it hardware. Okay, this sounds good. Now let's go to billable hours. So let's say you have another database, right? And let's say you have people working in your company, and you know their hourly rate. So let's put here billable hours. This is the person, right? So you would have per person. This would be then, of course, ideally automated through how many. So let's say you have an hour tracker, or they can input the hours at the end of the day or the end of the week through a form, which Notion lets you do. They have forms that you can do automations here. So every time, well, that the trigger is not here, it would be a form, but you'd add that form trigger immediately populate here on the billable hours. But that I digress, that is a bit more advanced video. So let's add here the person. We want also, let me check here on the example, so it's quicker. The projects, we're going to add hours worked, hourly rate, and total cost. Okay, so let's add a relation for the projects. So project 2, here it is, and two-way relation, and it's good like this. And now we want some numbers. So we want to know hours worked for this specific project. And then we want to know, let me add this can be number, yes, because it's hours. We want to know also the hourly rate, so number again, and we want this to be in dollars, and that's good. Well, let's name it hourly rate. And then we want to have here a formula that will be, let's edit it, it will be, so the amount of hours worked, so hours worked times, let's click on it, the hourly rate, right? So hourly rates. Let's save it, and this would be our total costs. Okay, so if we have here person A and we have here person B, and let's say this is, we didn't build a project, so let's just keep this as project, and I'll create it in a bit. Let's say this worked for, I don't know, 8 hours, and this worked for 12, and this hourly rate here is 75, and this hourly rate is 100. Just make this simple. The total costs, we want this to be in dollars also. So we just add it to the number format because he knows it's a number from the formula. And that's good enough for now. So let's go back to the project and create some projects so that we can start doing the calculations. I already gave this, yeah, well, let me give this name expenses 2 and this billable hours 2, otherwise we will confuse them with these ones. Okay, so projects, let's add a new one, project 1, and this is now how we start doing all the relations. Project 2, and let's say we have already the client here. So this is, yeah, let's say both of them are for this company. And the budget here is 15K, and the budget here is 2,500. Let's just give an end date. So the end date for this is here, and the end date for this was before, or the opposite, doesn't matter. And the billable hours will grab this from, actually no, this we don't need it because we will do some roll-up properties. So if you click here and put hide in view, we don't need this, so we will hide it. Now, you can play around to make this a bit prettier, like this, shorten everything. But what we did now is to know, let's go here again to projects, is the total billable, total expenses, and the profit. So actually I didn't add project status here. If you want, you can have it. So let's say it's a status with the select, and we'd say active and archived. All right, let's say both of them are active. Why not? Okay, let me take my assistant out. I think it's time. All right, both of them are active. Perfect. So now we're gonna do the rollup properties. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna look for rollup, and here we're gonna choose the relation. So we want this to be the billable hours. So we click on billable hours, and now we are basically relating any billable hours on that table to the project that was selected on the billable hours project. We are going to show the original. Actually, no, we want to count. Do we want to count? Yes, but we need to choose the property as the total cost. And now we can do more options and sum them. All right, this is what I wanted. So again, we relate to the billable hours table. The property we want to show here is total costs. And then from the total cost, then we can add sum for all the costs. And let's name this billable cost. And now we do exactly the same thing, but we are going to do it for the general expenses, which I don't think I have a relation. No, so we need to build it. So let's go to the expenses database, and let's add to which projects it is. So we're going to add a relation. We're going to choose projects 2, and let's say it's a two-way relation, and then. So here we are going to say which project this expense is related to. Let's say this is project 1 and this is project 2, and let's move them here so it's a bit more organized. And then we can go back to the projects table, and now on this roller property we can say expenses, and edit it, choose the relation expenses to, the property is the amount of the cost, and again we sum all the costs. Perfect. So let's open up this in a new tab so that we can compare what expenses we have. So both of these are for projects 1 and 2. This is 500. Okay, it's showing up. Everything is showing exactly as we want. All right, let's go to billables. Where is it? Here it is. And let's choose the project that we are building. So person A is going to go for project A, person B is going to go for project B. All right, and now if you go to projects, we can see that, well, something is missing because this billable cost, okay, it updated, perfect. So we show here the total billable cost, right, and the total expenses. So now what we have to do is the profit calculation. So how do we do the profit calculation? Very simple, it's a formula, you may already have guessed. We add here formula, we want this to be, let's look at the budget, right? So project budget minus, and then we want to take the billable costs plus the expenses. And we want this to be expenses too, right? So let me see if I have billable hours. Did I add billable hours too? Maybe I did, right? Well, let's see if this works. Not like this, sorry, billable costs, billable costs. Okay, I think this works. Let's save it. And the formula should be in dollars. And now why is it not working? Because the expenses too has to be not the expenses too, but the roller property. All right, now we're good. So we're going to call this profit, and yeah, this should be enough. So we can also add here a different table. So let me show you how I have on here. I have a different table that shows the profit and loss. So here is where you would have all the projects, and then you can have one to show if those projects are profitable or at risk. It's also with a formula, and it's literally just saying if the profit is more than 0, we say that it's profitable. If not, we say it's at risk. So if you want, we can just do the same here. We can do it also in this table. We can add a new table to just show it. I'm just going to have on the same one for you to see. Not this. We want this to be a formula. And here it's, let's call it P&L, just for this sake. And this is profits. All right, save. So both of them are profitable. This almost is not. Okay, so this is how you would see it. And this is how you create the profits part of this. Now, it's simple. Of course, you can add a bunch more things depending on the business you have and how everything works inside of it. But let me show you how to add those charts. So in Notion, now we can have charts, and we want to have this to be a line, and we want this to be our P&L, for example. Well, can we name it? Perfect. And we want this to show not the status, but the profits. And so we want the profits, and where is it? What to show? Sorry, not on the X. On the X, my bad. We want, let's say, the end date. It's okay for the day that it ended. And on the Y, then yes, we want the profits. We want the sum of them, and we want to be cumulative, and we don't want 0 values. Let's show it like this. All right, and now, yeah, we can choose a color. So if you want this to be blue, it stays blue. If you want this to be, where is it, green, you can show it green. And then this is good. This is ranges. If you want to put ranges, you can add a bunch more things. But I think for now, for simplicity's sake, we can just leave these ones like this. We can take maybe, where is it? We can take the legends out, and we can keep these captions because, sorry, these data labels, otherwise we wouldn't know exactly the amount. And we have the gradient area, which is this area here on the bottom. Yeah, that is nice. That's it. That's how you can build this P&L or any dashboard of your profits inside that table. You can also do it here, as I have here, and that is literally the same. You come here, you add, so either with a slash or with a plus, you look for charts, you select line chart, and you do it again. So in this case, we want to grab from projects, and we want to know here again the end date. We want to omit 0 values because we don't want this to extend there. We just want the dates. And we want to show again the, where is it, the profits, the sum of them. And let's say that we want it to be cumulative. So it doesn't show here why the cumulative is good, but let's edit here the projects. So we want to add, let's say, this one wouldn't be 2K, but it would be 4K, just to show a bit a different example. So now if we go here, we see that here we had a profit of 2K, and here instead of being 14 before, it's now 16 because we add how much was made here. So as you can see, 15.9K to this 2K down here. And so this is just cumulative profits. And if you add a lot of them, it will be shown like this. Then what can you do on top of this? Well, you can add anything you want. Depends only on the tables and the databases that you put on your Notion. So on this case, for example, we could also have the number of clients we currently have. So if we look for a chart and we just do a donut because we just want basically the number, the big number that is there, we look for clients 2, and we show, instead of the status, we show how many companies there exist. Okay, we do the counts, and we only have 1 currently. And what can you do? We can take the legend out. we want to show the value in the center, and the height, we can choose it to be small. For example, if you want to put it on the side of this one, so you could have this side by side, make this side a bit smaller, and yeah, you would have it like this. Then you can name this whatever you want. So instead of charts, it could be clients, and then here you would just name it P&L, for example, right? Whatever you want. And this would look like this. You select the colors you want, and as you have more, you can do this. Yeah, what can you build on top of this? Again, sky's the limit. You just add more databases, and you start doing charts like the donuts, lines, and you can also have verticals and horizontal bars. The vertical ones are very nice for when you have here on the billables. Let me go there again. You can do a chart for how many hours were done per person per project. So want to edit this view. Let me just show you super quickly. We want the person here, and then we want hours worked, and we want to show per project so we can group them. Where is the group them? Not filter, sorry. Where is it? I'm forgetting it. Well, you can group this by the projects, and then I'm just not finding it now, but trust me, you can group it by project. Maybe it's because I don't have. No, I do. Well, let's try to see if we add project 2 here also, how it would look like on the chart. Let's edit it. And all right, I can't. Great. Okay, well, you get the point. You can add this however you want. You can see the hours per person per project, or you can see it per day. You just need to have then more information on the days that were worked. All of these again can be done using a form submission that goes immediately into your billable hours. But that's basically how you can implement your own profits dashboards and other type of dashboards in your agency inside Notion. And I hope you found this useful. And if so, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, because I am doing one video per day, every day for the month of January around how to improve business operations using AI, automation, and data. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.